the solution. We'll be taking you through the solution itself, the functionalities, the features, and the use of the solution in an enterprise organization, right? So, to do justice to this, I have myself, Henry Agbonze. I'm the channel manager for ManageEngine Solution, and I also have my colleague Abidemi, the senior process engineer. Abidemi is going to take us through the Service Desk Plus solution and the functionality of the solution, and after which I'll come in and take you on how to pitch and also questions to ask when you want to engage your client on the solution. Right this moment, I want to invite Abidemi to share his screen, then we can proceed. Abidemi, kindly share your screen. Thank you.
Good morning again. I'll be sharing my screen. Please confirm when you can see my screen. All right. Please confirm you can see my screen now.
Yes, it's up. It's up.
All right, thank you. So this morning we'll be looking at the ITSM tool from ManageEngine called Service Desk Plus. So the ManageEngine Service Desk Plus consists of some modules that meet up with the ITIL standard processes, starting from incident to problem to change to asset to knowledge and reporting. So on my screen now I have the incident management, and I'll be sharing. So before we proceed also, the Service Desk Plus comes in two different types of deployment packages. We can deploy for you on-premise, whereby we have a customer provide us with a database, a server where the application will be sitting on, while where we have to download the APK file, register, and continue with other configurations. While we have the cloud version where all we just need to do is sign up using a URL, and we assure you every of our customers the 100% data security and protection of information on all your data that would be configured and stored with the OEM. All right, so moving on, we have our incident management. The incident management has this its workflow that speaks to how tickets are being raised and the processes that are being carried out back end to make a successful ticket. We have the first one, which is raising an incident, that comes in different formats. We have the email. So the application supports an email to case situation whereby users can send emails to raise tickets. We have the telephone option whereby we have to integrate with the telephony. A self-service portal, that is whereby the user has to log on to the application to do that by themselves. Then the ESM portal, where, for instance, the customer is looking at separating and giving 100% privacy to every unit they have within the organization. Where so on the application is also called instances. So we can have close to 10 instances to differentiate different business units to have their own option on the application. Then this there, so which is like an automated chat, like the AI sound. So now, so at the point of raising all of these tickets, we have the automation process that comes in, where the ticket is being categorized, assigned to a technician. An SLA is being also tied to the tickets, and a request life cycle to check when from when the ticket is being from open, when it was being raised, the status of the ticket from open to the last case stage of the status, which is closed or resolved or being assigned to a third party, a second level or third level support. Then we also have the features to remote and have asset information, so you can analyze the ticket having this information. So when the ticket is being raised, you have the privilege to remote into the user's workstation if it's something that can be done remotely. And if it's to be traced again to the workstation, you have the access information of that particular user. So communication with your end user also, we have the chat, we have the reply templates, and email conversations within tickets. So you get notified twice on your mail and a notification pop up on the application. So when the ticket is being raised, you can as well communicate on that particular ticket the way you do on your mail tray. So you don't have to always receive the ticket ID notification on the application and you go to your email to respond to the end user. So you can do all of this on the application, and the end user also can respond to you and give you feedback in case you need further information to resolve the ticket or they are not satisfied with the resolution that was provided. Then resolving the incident. So after the incident has been resolved, the application also has the feature, the incident as module has the feature for you to document and keep processes. So it happens to be a first time issue that no one has ever raised before, and you are the first technician to be assigned to that task. Upon resolving that issue, the application comes with a resolution template whereby you can document the steps by steps that were carried out to resolve that particular ticket, and can also be transferred to a module on the application called solution. Generally we classify as knowledge base. Then we can close the incident. So the incident can be closed at point of closure. We already know, yes, we are done with this ticket. So for some practices, we may advise that the incident should be resolved. So after some time, maybe 42 or 72 hours of no feedback from the requester, the ticket automatically moves from resolved to closed. That means the customer is satisfied. Then the user acknowledgement. Upon closing this ticket, that is when we do the manual processing. Upon closing the ticket, he asks for the acknowledgement of the user to confirm if they are satisfied, and you are to choose either this case was closed successfully or it was cancelled, or you need to transfer to another unit, which that is maybe the ticket was logged amiss. Then we have the survey. So a survey also can be prepared and sent out to users to give ratings or rankings of how the services provided to them were of beneficiary and they are satisfied with it. Moving on, we have the problem management. So problem management workflow comes with the same way we have the incidents. You can raise a new problem. So a new problem cannot be raised by a user. So this is only open to you as a technician, and it can be linked to incidents. So we can all link our problems discovered to an incident that has been raised earlier. So an incident can be raised, and as a technician, you can identify that incident to be a problem because you're an expert, and we know we can identify a problem based on the level of severity and what it affects in the organization, if it's affecting business thoroughly or partially. So that is how we can identify. Then we can also document our root cause analysis, then move to fixing this problem. So at the point of fixing this problem, we have two phases. We can we raise a change, and upon all approvals being met, a project can be carried out to resolve the problem, and we close the problem automatically, associating it with the incident that was raised, if there is any. So we have change management. So our change management module would come with a particular workflow that is flexible enough to accommodate every organization's existing CAB or approval workflow that they have in place. So on the application, we have three default templates called standard change, emergency change, and normal change. So if there are any other types of change that the organization would want to create, the application is also customizable to accommodate such change, because all we just need to do is creation of a new template and labeling it with the necessary populating with the necessary fields that the customer would want to do. So we can raise a new change, and we have the submission, the planning that has to do with the impact analysis, the rollout plan, the backup plan, and the checklist. So the checklist talks to actions that are to be in place before we move to the why even on approvals, and to see where these changes are being effective. Then we have the approvals, where we have our change manager approvals, we have our CAB, our change advisory board. So they also have a space on the Manage Engine Service Desk Plus, whereby they have the privilege to approve, decline, ask for more information if not clear, then an announcement or notifications that can be sent out before the rollout plan, before the implementation, then a post-implementation review, and the change is closed. So we can see that after an incident was raised, we discovered it to be a problem. And when the problem was identified, the root cause analysis, the symptoms were already documented. We moved on to raise a change to fix the particular problem that was identified. So after the change processes has been completed, we have a project to work on. So we create our new project with the project types, the roles that will be given to those on the project. We can create our milestones, add our tasks, and manage these resources. That is those that will be working on either human resources, application resources, to mention but a few. Then tracking our progress using the Gantt chart on the application. And now, so also the application is open to accommodate an existing project. So even if a project plan has been drawn before your use of the Manage Engine Service Desk Plus, so as far as we have it on a Microsoft project, this project can be imported on the Manage Engine Service Desk Plus project module, tying them to all the necessary and mandatory fields that we correct. So we all know every application comes with their own naming convention. So the application is also flexible enough for you to substitute. So you can, okay, this is, for instance, on the application, it is called scheduled start time. On Manage Engines project, it is called actual start date time. So we can just use these two together, and the application would accept all of this information. Our file work logs, then we close the project. Now, service request management. So we have two types of requests. So the first one was the one we looked at, which is the incident. Now we are talking about a service request. So service requests are requests that require us to gain an approval before any action can be carried out, like geofencing of users, creation of new staffs, decommissioning of servers, users going on leave. So all of these requests might require some levels of approval before any action can be taken. So we have the catalog that can be created. We categorize all of these services. We configure any service item that will be associated with these requests. That's where we have the SLAs, the approvals. So we are on the application, we have up to, for the on-prem, we have up to 5, and cloud, we have up to 10 of levels of approvals when creating your service request approval workflow. Then we publish it for self-service portal, whereby users will be able to have access to it to raise their request. And upon raising the request, this request is being assigned to a technician, and an SLA is being applied at the point of approval. So when you choose your service request that you want to raise, it is sent out for approval first. So once it is approved, an SLA is being applied, and it triggers the task whereby a technician is being assigned and the service is being delivered. Then at all points, if the customer is willing to make that happen, a notification is being sent out to that end user. that, okay, your request is awaiting approval. Your request has been approved and has been assigned to this person. Your ticket is currently on hold, work in progress, and closed. Then you can get to reply that same request and get your feedback from the end user for more clarification or for more further assistance if they are still not satisfied, or they are satisfied and they need more actions based on the request. So earlier when I was speaking about the incident, I made mention of knowledge base or solution. Yeah, so our knowledge base module comes as an archive whereby you can keep articles, so resolutions, or information that you would want users or end users to always fall back to help themselves for a first level support, and for engineers also as technicians, whereby they can use to enhance their self-learning on the job. So it's very good for our end users and new intakes as an engineer or a technician. So because we understand that many people have the story of they missed the mail because they have so much to attend to and they couldn't get the information that was shared or the article that was sent to them. Like some people call it when they are sending out when they want to try to pass out an information, they call it village square, they call it town cry and all that. So all of this information can be documented in our knowledge management module. So users would have access to always go back to it at any point in time to read up about it. Then this also gives you the feature to be able to organize your topics so they are not scattered. So if you are making write-ups about hardwares, you can just they can be a topic called hardware and subtopics under it. If they are for processes ongoing on leave, if they are for processes of onboarding of new users and all that. So it gives you the privilege to be able to organize, and users can search with keywords to be able to find, because for instance you have up to like 100 items on our knowledge management. You can't ask people to be scrolling to get to what they are. So the search button is available whereby they can search with a particular keyword, knowing that those items are available on the knowledge management module. Then so if any technician is trying to create a knowledge document, it has to be submitted for approval, whereby it needs to be vetted or being cross-checked by a superior to confirm this information is good, or more needs to be added or subtracted from it, so as to make it more concise and easy and accessible for people. Then publishing it for self-service as is to public, and we can also restrict it. So when we are looking at, if we are making all of this knowledge information based on business unit, so we can restrict it to say, okay, whatever this information is based for those in HR. So we can say if you don't belong to an HR business unit, you don't have access to this knowledge information topic. So that is also available. So it's more or less like another way of separating and not making people confused about what they need to know and what they are not actually, so that is not supposed to be their business. Yeah, so last we are looking at our asset management. So ManageEngine Service Desk Plus comes with an asset management tool, an inventory package to help monitor, track, and give updates on assets. So it can pick your asset, both non-IT and IT assets. So our IT assets are our IP-enabled assets, your access points, your workstations, your servers, and other. So, and this can be done through a periodic scan, whereby we have to input some credentials like the SSH, the WMI, to get the information that we need. And for on-premise, we make use of an agent-based solution whereby we integrate with the ManageEngine Endpoint Central. While for the cloud, we use the probe, whereby a probe is being downloaded and installed, where the customer will provide a server for us to install the probe. And the probe happens to be the communication between the domain controller, whereby all assets of this organization are being stored, and the ManageEngine Service Desk Plus. So the probe sends out a script to all of these workstations, all of these assets, and brings the information to store them on ManageEngine Service Desk Plus. So it picks the name of the last logon user, the system name, all software that has been installed, applications installed on their on the workstation, on the assets, the softwares, and licensing. So this helps us to build asset inventory. It also map all of these assets to the users upon scanning. So it maps automatically by picking the last logged on user. And if the customer is willing to do a manual asset mapping also, that is also available. Then it also keep inventory on licensing and service packs. Then we can build a CI relationship, a configuration item relationship, and support other processes like the incidents, projects, and change management. So this scan can be scheduled. So we can ask it to always scan on a daily basis at a particular given time, so as for us to know assets that are actually in use and in stock. So, and the ones that needs to be changed, or assets that are in a repair state or out of that already expired. So the best practices when we use our asset management is it helps you to gain control over all hardware and software inventory. Also assist us in tracking assets across their life cycle, like I said, from requisition to retirement, alongside with the ownership of that asset. Then mapping of the relationship between the asset and the business services that are tied to it. So reporting. So we all know that in every organization, reporting happens to be one of the major tool, because that's an evidence of, yes, we are working, and to show you that we our progress, and also where we need to do better. So application comes with up to 150 ready-made templates that you can use, and are very useful and helpful for you to design your own type of reports. These reports are customizable. We also have a query report in case the templates that we have there is not giving you the exact information you need. Then we can work together to look at your request, generate a query, or a script for you to run on our reports. Then you get the information you are actually looking for. Then configure and modifying of reports. So we can choose the report type, the module whereby we want to run the report from, filter the report, and select the summary and the output type. Scheduling of report. So a report can we can create a report once and allow it to always go out at every given time. So when I'm creating a report on the count of closed incidents today, I can say, okay, on daily basis, as at 5 p.m. every day, a report should go out giving me the status, the count of every closed incident. So to see how well we are being able to resolve issues. So maybe, okay, we need more hands, or these issues are just way too complicated that we need to always have to escalate for a second level support. Then we can generate our reports in an HTML format, CSV, and PDF. Then we can customize our dashboard. The dashboard happens to be on the landing page before the home. That is only available for technicians, for them to see. So it's more or less like a live chat that keeps changing at intervals. That, okay, pending request, overdue status, depending on what we configured there. So this data tends to keep changing as the application is up and running. So these are what we have for our supported database and browsers for on-premise, if we'll be subscribing to the on-premise version of the application. Then integrations. So this application is available to integrate with all ManageEngine solutions And for third parties, we have the Microsoft. And for those that would not be able to do a direct integration process, we have an API REST key available for us to do our integration and working together with the third-party application to get this integration into a successful deployment. Then we have our editions. We have the standard, the professional, and the enterprise with the features. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Bidemi, for that brief presentation. And you can keep that slide. Let me just speak to that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually want to speak to this because of the fact that I used to get requests and some questions from the partner as regards the licensing. So the Service Desk Plus has 3 license modules. We have the standard, the professional, and the enterprise edition, right? So you can see from the screen that the standard is basically an help desk feature, has just an help desk feature, which speaks to incident management, self-service portal, knowledge base, multi-site support, SLA management, and help desk reports. So that's what the standard edition covers. And the standard starts from 10 technicians, meaning that if you want to engage your client, the pricing start from 10 technicians, right? So for the professional, if you can see from the screen, it's an addition of standard plus asset management, right? Is you're adding the standard edition and plus asset management, meaning that all the features that you can find in the Service Desk Plus standard edition, you just add it to the asset management. So that's just what it covers. So that means that will be for in addition to what is in Service Desk Plus standard edition, you'll be getting help desk management, IT asset discovery, software asset management, asset inventory reports, purchase and contract management. So the purchase and the contract module is found in the professional edition of the Service Desk Plus, right? So should your client wants to get the Service Desk Plus professional edition, that's when we request you to confirm if the number of technicians and the number of nodes. In this, in the professionals module, you'll be asked to confirm the number of assets that the client has. So the nodes simply means the number of workstations, printer, scanner, etc., network devices that you want to onboard on the solution. So that's what the professional covers. We also have the enterprise edition. So enterprise edition, as you can see from the screen, simply means the addition of the standard professional edition with the features that you're seeing right now, meaning you're adding the features of the standard and the professional edition, and you also add that of the one you're seeing on the screen, the incident management, problem management, change management, IT project management, service catalog, asset management, and CMDB. So meaning that if you subscribe to the enterprise edition, you're going to get all the complete features of the Service Desk Plus solution. So most times the enterprise environment will need the enterprise edition, and also the licensing, right? For the professional edition, you can also get the pricing for 2 technicians, 250 nodes. That's the minimum, or the base pack. Let me put it that way. The base pack is 2 technicians, 250 nodes, right? And you can also get 2 technicians, 250 nodes for the enterprise. The base pack for standard edition is there is 10 technicians, right? If you can see, we did not include asset because standard edition did not come with asset. This solution can be either in cloud or an on-prem version, right? So you need to confirm this when you are relating to your client. When you are relating to your client, that standard edition, we have the cloud, we have the on-prem version, right? The cloud and on-prem version. The on-prem version has subscription and perpetual. The on-prem version has subscription and perpetual, right? Subscription is an annual fee, right? It's annual. Perpetual is one-time purchase. One-time purchase. But it also implies that you're going to be paying AMS every year after the one-time purchase. So this needs to be clarified. So thank you. You can put up the next slide. Thank you.
All right, sir. I'm bringing it up now. All right, so this is the next slide. We are looking at how to fit in the engine.
Okay, so you can start. Is that the first slide?
Yes, sir, this is the first slide.
So we're going to discuss on how to pitch the Service Desk Plus solution. How to pitch the Service Desk Plus solution. Yesterday we treated this same solution.
Okay, so can I continue, sir, Johnson?
Okay, so can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, sir.
Okay, good. So today we are treating the Service Desk Plus solution, how to pitch the solution. So when you are engaging your clients on the Service Desk Plus solution, you have to get prepared on some things that you need to discuss with the client, and also tend to understand what the client intends to, what the client is looking at. Also, you're going to make research as regards the client you want to pitch the solution to. It's very important. I said something as regards the licensing. We have the standard, we have the professional, we have the enterprise. So it's important for you to know make research about your customer, research about your client, so you know the number of the edition of the ManageEngine solution that will likely to be fit into the client environment. So the first thing you do, you position yourself as a strategic partner who understand the banking imperative, not just a software vendor. So you need to position yourself as someone that is able to sell solution. That's just what it means. I understand the ManageEngine product. You are there to sell a solution, not just to sell the software. So once you have that understanding, now to make you go and make some research as regards the company itself, right? Check the complexity of the company, how big the company, your client is. Is it a bank, manufacturing industry, or oil and gas? You need to understand that if you can get this, you know the kind of solution that the kind of addition you propose to them, and the number of the features of what they have in their environment. We also determine the features or the addition they are going to go with, right? So it's very important. It's important that you do this need analysis, tend to understand what the clients have, how big the site how big is the client environment, then also understand what their challenges are, right? If you can get all this, it's very, very important that you get all this so that you'll be able to position the ManageEngine solution, right? So, and also put it at the back of your mind that when you're selling the ManageEngine solution, you're going to focus on the what is going to be of benefit to the client, right? You're going to tailor your discussion on operational resilience. regulatory compliance, right? Every organization wants to be compliant to the latest regulation, right? So it's very important to have this done. Business continuity, right? You have to tailor your conversation to that business continuity. Also, you tailor your conversation to end customers, right? End customers in the sense that you're selling the service. The end customer in this case could be the staff, and it also could be the client, right? Like we also know that this ITSM solution that we have for ManageEngine does not really speak to just the client, the staff alone. We have a solution that also speaks to the end customer, which is the Support Center Plus. Right? It's important that you have your mind, you frame your conversation tailored into this whole list of this point of that we can see on the screen, so that when you're talking to the client, you're not just speaking for you to make business out of the whole conversation. Rather, you have come to make, provide a solution to the client. Next slide, please. You hear me? Next slide. Okay, good. Okay, so go back a little bit. Go forward a little bit. I think there's a mixed up here. Okay, next. I think there's a mixed up here. The slide you're sharing is not the right slide.
That's this. Okay, I think I found it. One moment, please. Share my screen now. This is.
Okay, thank you. Right. So the next thing you look out for, like you want to speak to a bank, right? You want to speak and pitch ManageEngine to the bank or the financial institution or sectors, as the case may be. You should understand that what they are very much keen to is one, auditing, right? And you know how costly it's going to be if you want to bring in an external auditor to come and do some of those things that ought to be done by the in-house team. So you should tailor your pitching to this fact that you're going to save costs, right? Time, and also for the fact that you're getting the solution, the ManageEngine Service Desk Plus is going to make them, they will now make them to be compliant to the latest bit, right? So it's very important to tailor your pitching to this area, right? We have the Service Desk ManageEngine, the ManageEngine Plus, which can integrate with CNDP and the audit tools, a single source for two assets. So you can use this solution to get all the tickets that have been raised, right? You want to know if this ticket that have been raised, or the request or whatever the incident is has been actioned upon. It's very important. Who actioned on it? What was done? So with this solution, you can actually get an audit trail of all these things that have happened within just within the solution itself. You can imagine if it was the IT process is actually manual. It becomes very difficult for you to be able to get the audit trail of what has happened. But in the case of Service Desk Plus, it's an automated solution, right? So with this, it makes it easier for them to be able to audit whatever thing that have been done, and also make them get compliant in the latest bit of compliance. Next. Also, you look at the security incident needs. The security incident needs a swift coordination process. right? We mentioned yesterday that the service desk, the SIEM solution can integrate with the Service Desk Plus, right? So how swift incident treated? Those are the things that any organization want to or to know. How swift, how is being done, how is it being done, right? For example, you had an incident within your organization. How swift, how long did it take for them to resolve those incidents? It's very, very important. And this the speed at which this is done also is going to determine what the business continuity, and also is going to affect the cost of running business, right? Imagine if, for example, someone that is in charge of whatever, maybe in charge of the finance, had issue with his laptop, and he tends to send a request to the IT team to them to come and fix the laptop, right? But because there was no tool to audit or to monitor who is going to handle such kind of requests, the IT department tend to sit down, right, and not doing anything. And this same person is going to do some activities that will bring funds to the organization. So it's very important that you look at this, you position this to the mindset of the client, that if you don't have a good incident management tool in-house, and you are not syncing it to your SIEM solution in-house, it becomes an issue, because you might have a security threat, you might have a security issues within an organization, you might also have a request that speaks to that needs urgent attention, but because there is no incident management solution in-house, this might not be treated. You might not even know what happened because you are not in the picture, right? It's not all the things that the management, those in the management level knows, right? But with this solution, you can actually be in the know of what is happening. So I'm actually speaking as if I'm talking to the CIO or the head of IT, that you can be on your leave, you can be on leave, and also get visibility on what is happening within your department. So, and also you're also putting your IT department, the IT team, you are putting them to their tools, so that wherever thing that comes to their desk, they know that by the time this request is not treated, it's going to get to your desk. And whatever thing that make a request get to your desk, that means it should be something that is that they've tried all they could, but they could not resolve it. So it's important that you tailor your pitch to this directions, right? How fast things are done, how fast incident has resolved. For example, if ManageEngine is integrated with the same solution, for example, if there's an issue that relates to someone, maybe someone tends to do some audit or changes in the file server or whatever, or someone try to log into a critical file or critical server which he or she do not have access to because of the multiple failure of the password. This can also be like it will raise an incident, right? It will raise a ticket, it will raise an incident, it will raise an alert, a real-time alert that will be sent to the Service Desk Plus. And the Service Desk Plus will now read that as a ticket, which will be assigned to the technician to let them know that something is happening that needs to be treated urgently. So it's important that you tailor your pitch to this direction. Next slide. Okay, so another thing is, this is very critical. This is very critical, especially in the banking environment, right? You want to ensure that nobody just go in and makes changes within the organizations, right? The changes need to go through a process, and there should be a board that at least to some extent that approve such kind of changes, right? So if someone want to make changes, want to change somebody's, say for example, somebody's laptop, you want to make some changes that is very critical to the organization, you don't just go there and make such kind of changes, right? Because with the help of ManageEngine solution, you have to go through process, right? BDME did something as regards the change approval process that you're going to customize within your organization that would tailor, that will want the person that want to make those chain of changes to get approval from the change advisory board is important. So the ManageEngine solution makes this possible, the service desk clause, right? Because sometimes there are some changes that will result to downtime, right? And if there is downtime, that would affect the business of the day. And if that affects the business of the day, obviously it's going to affect the revenue that ought to come in for that day. So it is very important that dramatic changes should be minimized. And how can you minimize dramatic changes? Through introduction of the change advisory board, which is also one of the features of the service desk plus, which is the change management feature. So it's important that when you're speaking to your client, right, or your customer, as the case may be, you point out this as one of the key benefits of the ManageEngine solution, right? It helps to, right, reduce risks and downtime that relates to changes. It's very important. Thank you. Also, like I mentioned, business continuity. Business continuity is key, right? So we are all human, right? We tend to be more proactive when people are actually overseeing what we are doing, right? So you can imagine if you have a team of 5 managing the IT department, and someone sent a request relating to maybe printer is not working, right? And nobody's fixing it, nobody's response to it, right? Because it has not been, an SLA has not been designed that point to each of these guys in the team, right? So you can imagine if, because you have Service Desk Plus solution in-house, and you now customize and also have draft an SLA that speaks to, if you have any things that relates to Sprinter, speak to Samuel. If you have anything that relates to laptop, just that keyword. Once that keyword comes in, the request is routed down to Joseph. If you have this that relates to software and application, the request goes down to Aliu, as the case may be. And a request came in that is supposed to be treated by Samuel. He has not treated the request because it actually has a keyword that relates to Sprinter, right? And because you are the head of the department or the head of IT, you have customized this that if this request lasts for more than 2 hours or more than 30 minutes, as the case may be, let it be escalated to my desk. So somewhere we will not want such kind of things to be escalated to your desk. So he will want to ensure that this request is treated, because he knows that if it is escalated to your desk, it means that it's no longer an incident. It has become a problem. And if it has become a problem, then it's something that actually needs the head of IT or wherever the head attention. And if it's not, then there should be a query for not attending to that request. So you can imagine if such kind of tool is placed in an organization, it makes everybody to be proactive and enhance business continuity. And if such kind of happens in an organization, it's going to give rise to what we call performance and growth in such kind of organization. So when you are pitching this solution, you ensure that you tailor your pitch to this direction, so that when the client or the decision maker tends to hear all this, they will want to buy into what you're selling. Next slide. Also, managing software license and compliance risks. So another 2 important things you should look at that challenges of the banking industry and some other firms is, how do they manage their assets? How do they manage their softwares? How do they know when the software is going to expire? How do they track this, right? These are big organizations that has over 150 to 300 branches in the country, right? But a single solution can bring all this software, everything in one console, right? That is the ManageEngine solution. With the solution, you can be able to track the life cycle of your asset, right? You will be going to track what solution that is on use, those ones that have not been used, right? So with this, you can also mitigate cost. You can also optimize cost, right? Because we can imagine having a software that I've been in this business for a while, and I know that there are some software that some set of companies tend to buy. They didn't use it at all. They didn't use it at all. And you can imagine that, and it was actually paid for. Was actually paid for, but they didn't use it. So with the solution, you should be able to extract the life cycle of your asset and also determine those software that have been bought. Are they in use? Who are those using it, right? So, and we will also track those the compliance violation. We track it with the ManageEngine solution. So with this, you are also trying to mitigate risk. You are optimizing costs, right? So those ones that you see that they are not in use, you can cut it off, and with that you can save costs, right? And for the assets, there are some assets that have been purchased, nobody is using it. You can also yank those assets off. Some people, the asset, they actually bought the asset, but no one has been assigned to the asset. And now you want to go and buy another asset when we still have some that are not being used, right? With the solution, you can determine those assets that are in use and those ones that have not been used, right? Those ones that have been overused, those ones that are meant to be changed, you can get all this with the Service Desk Plus solution. So your pitching should go towards this direction, right? To optimize costs for the client, mitigate legal risks, and avoid FT fine, which is, I think this also is, I have an experience that a customer, I don't know if they are trying to help the company or not, but they tend to go and install a cracked license, right, in their environment, which it does not really for any reason speak good to the client, right? They got to know that, but with the help of ManageEngine solution, you can be able to ascertain if this license is cracked or not. It's very important that clients look towards this direction. So partners, when you are speaking to your customers, you ensure that the benefit of this solution is well pitched and well understood by the client, right? Even if the client do not want to buy, they will understand that this solution is actually what they need. Probably they don't have the finance to fund that project at that moment, but surely if they intend to buy it in future, they will definitely reach out to you. Demi. Okay, so another thing is, I think I did mention something that relates to this, right? Challenges that most banks or financing companies face also, excuse me, what is we have here too. Our employees need fast support to stay productive. I just gave an example of someone that had 40 laptop and needed to be fixed, and nobody has come to fix it. And this is the person that manage the finance or that want to do some activity that will bring more revenue to the company. But because he or she could not do not have access to a workstation to work, so that business of the day has been stunted because of this. But because we have the Service Desk Plus solution, whatever thing that needed to be done will be done faster, because one, there's a self-service portal which he or she can access and lay his complaint. We have the AI power chat that comes together with the solution. You can chat with the admin to lay your request, and your chat will be treated as a ticket. Yeah, there's also a part that is very important. This is for the technicians or the admin, right? Which is the knowledge base, right? Knowledge base help the admin to get insight of what has been done previously on the solution. With that, they can use that to resolve whatever new issues that relate to the previous challenges that they encounter in the solution. So it's very important that you pitch the service desk plus towards the fact of boosting employee productivity and satisfaction, free up IT staff to focus on strategic initiative. You can imagine if your IT staff, all they do throughout the whole day is to start running up and down, fixing password, joining cables together, putting cables together, and their core activities are being led followed, they're not doing anything that relates to their core activities. So, but with this tool, there's a room for the employees to be able to assess some basic things that need to be, that there's some basic things that they can do on their own. They can get it solved within themselves without reaching out to the IT staff. So also with that, it makes the IT staff focused on key objective of the day. Now, after you've had that kind of conversation with your client, right? Then you can now ask some tricky questions, right? These questions will also help you to diagnose if the customer or the client needs a solution. You ask questions that relates to their current needs, right? What IT service text or ticketing tool are you currently using, right? So if a client response is no, you should know that it needs an ITSM solution, a Service Desk Plus. And if the client said no, you should also convince the client that you can't be that big to this extent and you don't have such kind of tool in your house. It's going to frustrate your business, right? Because one, you cannot get visibility of what is happening as regards incident or IT automation within your organization. So you can also let the client know the disadvantage of not having such kind of tools in-house. So the next question you ask is, what challenges do you face with your current help desk solution? That is if the client has an help desk solution, right? The Service Desk Plus solution is higher in the quadrant, right? We have so many competitors in the market, but one good thing is that the Service Desk Plus is very cheap, right? That means it's price friendly, right? The dashboard for you to be able to customize the dashboard. So you don't need, it's not a rigid kind of software. You have the ability to customize your dashboard to your own build or your taste as you want it. Right? If you can confirm from the technical guys, once you want to deploy the solution, they tend to give you some template for you to fill. This is for you to be able to customize such kind of solution to your taste. That's one good thing about the Service Desk Plus. And the fact that is scalable, you can start small and also increase as time goes. I mentioned that you can start with 2 technicians for the professional edition, 2 technicians, 250 nodes, 2 technicians, 250 nodes for the enterprise. You can imagine an enterprise solution, you're starting with 2 technicians, 250 nodes, right? For the standard, you can also start with 10 technicians. So you can see that it's very scalable. These 2 technicians, 250 nodes, you can increase as time goes on. So meaning that if I purchase a solution now, they say in January, and after 6 months, it has not expired. It's supposed to expire the next year, January. After 6 months, and I intend to increase the number of technicians in the solution, I can reach out to ManageEngine and tell them to give me cost for additional 2 technicians or additional 250 nodes. So it's important for you to know that it's actually scalable. Its price is very cheap in the market compared to other ITSM solutions. The fact that you can integrate it at ease, right? The ManageEngine solution, you can integrate it at ease. And like I mentioned, ManageEngine is a bundle solution, it's also a solution, right? You need a network monitoring solution to integrate with. You can go easily and to integrate the Service Desk Plus with OpManager Plus. You can imagine from the same solution. So you can see that the solution provider is just one, which is the ManageEngine. If you have Service Desk Plus, you can integrate it with the OpManager Plus. You can integrate it with the security solution, which is Log 360. You can also integrate it with the Application Manager. You can integrate it with Endpoint Central. So if the client needs an endpoint management solution in future, it's very easy for you to integrate. If they need a security solution, it's very much easier to integrate than looking out for another OEM that we start looking at for API or to integrate with such kind of solution. But the integration with ManageEngine solution is seamless, only for the fact that it's from the same OEM. So you can take this point as your tool or your weapon when such kind of challenges face you in the front of the customer. When it tells you that I have an help desk solution that I'm currently using, you can tell them that ManageEngine solution has seamless integration. They have other tools that relates to your environment, that relates to whatever request that you need, and it's very easy for you to integrate. The price is also one thing. Customization is another key thing for that also give us the edge over our competitors in the market. Are your support process mostly automated or manual? Obviously, if the client tells you that their process is manual, you should just know that they need a ManageEngine solution that makes their process to be automated. So, question that relates to ticketing and incident. How do users currently report issues? Emails, phone, portal, WhatsApp, or in person? You can imagine that. So someone have issue with laptops and is sending an email. And once he send an email, the person that he sent the email to would have received probably 20 to 30 emails before that. He might not even see the email, right? So imagine when that kind of request will be treated. But in the case where you have Service Desk Plus, that email that you sent, that for WhatsApp you made, that call that you made becomes a ticket and will be assigned to someone. Immediately, the request will be treated. So you can imagine that. So those are the things that you ask the question. You ask the question, the customer this kind of question. You have challenges with ticket categorization, assignment, and prioritization. I said something relating to this earlier, that you can categorize your ticket. Ali worked on hardware, wherever Samuel works on request that speaks to software. So you can categorize this ticket and assign it to whoever that is want to assign it to. And you put a priority on each of it. You know which one is critical, which of this ticket is critical. Put it on a red alert. Once this kind of request comes in, it's very critical. So you can prioritize it so that they will know when to treat the request and treat it immediately. How many tickets do you handle per day? How many tickets do you handle? So this is very important, right? So the number of tickets that is handled by day is also important for you to know, because with this, you can also make a proposal to the head of IT that you want to overwhelm your technical guys with this number of tickets. So I prefer that with this number of tickets, you should have 5 technicians, right? You cannot put someone to manage a ticket, one person to manage a ticket over 100 tickets per day. Then if you want him to manage just kind of ticket per day, then you should not bother him doing other jobs. You just focus on handling such kind of tickets. So it's important for you to know how many tickets and how many tickets that is being handled by day, daily, weekly, and monthly. With this, you can also, when you are speaking to the licensee, you can tell them, you can advise them on the number of technicians that is needed. Because by the time you see the number of tickets that comes in per day, you can advise on the number of technicians that the client should need when they want to purchase the solution. Do you require automated workflow or ticketing, ticket routing and escalation? This is obviously what the Service Desk Plus will provide. You ask customer kind of questions. Once the client responds no, once the response is no, then you introduce the Service Desk Plus. Service backlog and request fulfillment. Do you have any formal service catalog for IT or other department? Do you need to automate frequently requested service like password reset, onboarding, laptop requests? Which non-IT department should you be included in services? So, and these are questions that you ask your client, right? Once you have this kind of questions, you should know that this client needs this solution, and you should know that if I mentioned things relating to the licensing of the ManageEngine solution, right? You can only get service catalog in the enterprise edition, right? So imagine if a client wants a service catalog as one of the add-on, and you didn't ask this kind of question. You might just look at it that, okay, I just need to manage my assets, right? I need to manage my assets and also incidents. You might just, pitch the professional edition to the client, of which, with the inclusion of service catalog, which is one of the features in the enterprise edition, if the client should go ahead and purchase the professional edition, he will not be able to access the service catalog. So it's important that this kind of question is asked. So these questions will help you determine what edition the client wants to go with, right? So if you look at this last question here, which tailors to non-IT department, right? So you want to introduce the Service Desk Plus in the non-IT department. For example, the HR, admin, and then the facility department. So it's important you ask this kind of question. So if the client's response is that, okay, they want to include the HR, admin, and facilities into their tool. So it's important that you should know that they want the enterprise service. The enterprise service means that you have to get different instances for HR, different instances for admin, different instances for facility. Meaning that, for example, as a staff in the organization, I want something relating to my pension. I would not need to send such kind of request to the IT. It will go straight to the HR department. Once I send the things that relate to pension to the HR department, already the HR department has already customized their tool that Isioma is going to be the one to attend to things that relates to pension. Immediately, because of the keyword, I send that request to HR. Probably the email is hr@this.com. Immediately, once it hits that email, it goes down to Isioma, because Isioma is meant to attend to requests that speaks to pension. If it's anything that has to do with gratuity and maybe salary, and we have somebody, maybe Kemi is one in charge of that. So once I send things that relates to that, it goes to Kemi. Already, the IT department, the HR department already have 5 staffs that have different that treat each of these requests. So it's important that you want to remove. It's important for you to remove the HR, admin, and facility from these things that relates to IT, so that once such kind of request, but these are requests that is sometimes confidential. So it's important that you do that. So if the client's response is that they want to include this department in their IT automated process, then you should ensure that you sell the enterprise service management to the customer. Asset management. Do you currently track your assets? laptop, server, printer, software, licenses. How do you discover new assets on your network? Do you need an integrated CNDP to track configuration and dependency, right? These questions in fact, these questions are very important because if the customer's answer is yes, so you should know that the customer wants to get the professional edition with CNDP, or the customer wants to get the enterprise edition of the Service Desk Plus. With the help of the Service Desk Plus asset management, right, the customer can track all the IT assets and know who is working on who are on this asset, and who has been assigned to this asset, who has left the organization that is still using the asset. Where are the laptops of the guys that have left the organization? Who is currently managing it? Who do we reassign it to? You can imagine those kind of questions. It's very important that the client understand why we are asking all these questions, so that they can be able to track all their assets. It's very, very important. Next. So self-service, change and problem and release management. Do you follow any change management process today? That's the question. That's one of the questions you ask. Do you handle root cause analysis for recurrent incident? Do you require end-to-end approval for workflow, for change and release? So it's important that you ask these kind of questions. I did mention something relating to change advisory board, right? Once the client wants to achieve such kind of features, it's important that you pitch the Service Desk Plus to them. Once the answer is yes, Service Desk Plus, the enterprise edition, is what you should sell to the client, because the enterprise edition has the change, problem, and release management. Though the release management is a feature that you see in the cloud version, it's not currently in the on-prem version. I don't know if you can correct me if I'm wrong. The release management, is it in the on-prem version now? Hello, Bidemi. Do we have the on-prem release? Do we have the release management in the on-prem version?
Yes, we do. We do.
Oh, we do. That's good to know. So we have the release management in the on-prem version now, and also in the cloud version. So another question you can ask is self-service that relates to self-service and knowledge base. Do you want your user to solve simple issues through a knowledge base? Can you imagine if the last time my laptop was faulty, probably I was very slow, and the technician that did work on it, all the things that he did, he actually recorded it, or he put it in the knowledge base side of the Service Desk Plus. So instead of me going back to call him and tell him that I have issues, same issues, I will just go to the knowledge base and read through what he has done. Then I'll do it myself. It helps me. It makes my work easier. It also makes the technicians focus on other important things. So that's what the knowledge base part of the ManageEngine solution does. Do you have any existing document or FAQ to migrate? You ask those kind of questions too, right? How important is self-service portal or chatbot to reduce ticket? So you can imagine if there is a chatbot, I can just go to my chatbot and ask questions that relates to my request. It's very easy. Also, just to let you know, the Service Desk Plus is also in an app. You can download it on your phone, right? Some people will say, okay, you're talking about you want to raise tickets and my laptop is faulty. How do I raise ticket when my laptop is faulty, or you have your phone, you download it to your phone. You can also raise ticket with your phone. You can even use your chat. You can also raise ticket with your chat, right? It's very important to know that in case your customers ask. SLA and reporting. So it's important that you discuss things relating to SLA, right? You ask questions related to SLA and compliance. This is one of the key features that the Service Desk Plus actually provide. It tends to give you opportunity to draft an SLA compliance within your team, right? This is what I want you guys to do. At this point, this request is critical. Any request that relates to this is critical. Whatever request that comes in must not exceed 30 minutes, right, for you to attend to it. Once you have done such request, you have attended to such request, it has happened twice or twice or thrice, then it becomes a problem. It's no longer an incident. That needs to be treated immediately. So such kind of SLAs need to be drafted, and the compliance needs to be drafted alongside. So do you need any customizable dashboard or reporting from management view? So like I mentioned earlier, that the ManageEngine solution is very much dynamic, meaning that it gives you opportunity for you to customize your dashboard, right, to your own taste based on your environment as the way you want it. So managing solution that the Service Desk Plus gives you that leverage to do some little kind of customization, right? And also, this I forget, in case what we sell together with the ManageEngine is we sell the Analytic Plus. Analytic Plus is also a tool in ManageEngine. I said something earlier that the advantage we had over other solution, over other OEM, is that we can sell other solution to the customer without thinking about how possible are we going to integrate this solution, right? So we have the Analytic Plus solution. That Analytic Plus solution is same as the Power BI that you know, right? If the customer wants a very good kind of custom report, right, that gives management view, right? You can also sell the Analytic Plus, which has a seamless integration with the Service Desk Plus. With that, once you plug in the Analytic Plus to Service Desk Plus, you can get a custom kind of report. You can also get what kind of a dash view in terms of reports that you want. You can get that with the Analytic Plus. That does not mean that the Service Desk Plus does not have a customizable kind of reporting view. It does actually, but if you want to have a highly robust kind of reporting tool, then you should also sell the Analytic Plus in line with the Service Desk Plus. What KPI do you track? Resolution time, first call resolution, ticket backlogs. So this is one of the key things that you also sell when you are talking to your client. I know of a client, I know of a customer that used the number of tickets resolved. They use it as a tool to appraise the technical team, right? So this is not for the Service Desk Plus, it's for the Support Center Plus. They have their team that are deployed out on the field. So once requests come in that relates to their product, probably a customer sent a request saying that he could not access his internet, he could not browse this and that. They assign a field technicians that is around that customer's location, because the field technician will go and go to the customer's premises and solve the issue or resolve the issue as the case may be. So with this, the number of tickets that have been resolved, the number of ticket backlogs and first calls, these are the tools that the head of IT use to appraise the technicians or the technical department. So you can imagine if you have this at the back of your head, that the number of tickets there is, the number of tickets I resolve, or the number of ticket backlog will determine if I will be appraised very well. I want to put in all my effort to ensure that all these requests that comes in are treated. So you can see how beneficial using the Service Desk Plus would be. Yes, so I also mentioned this to earlier on, that the integration is seamless. Yes, we have, do you want to integrate with your Active Directory, Endpoint Central, OpManager, and other tools, including the SIEM solution? If the answer to the question is yes, then the customer need not to worry about how seamless the integration is going to be like, right? So you are integrating with the same OEM. So it's going to be seamless when you are integrating. So that's the benefit you have when you are going to the client environment to say manage any solution. You don't need to start looking out for other OEMs to integrate other client needs or the other client needs. So it's important you know that. So it's if you put you in ahead of other vendors that is selling to the customer. What level of automation are you looking for? Alert, approval, ticket, creation, workflow. So once you're able to ascertain the level of automation, it's also going to let you know that the client needs Service Desk Plus. You need any HR procurement system that needs integration. I said something relating to this earlier, right? If the client says yes to this, then you can create an instance. You can create an instance, another instance separate from the instance that speaks to the IT, to the customer, where things that relates to HR, things that relates to procurement will be routed directly to the HR or to the procurement, as the case may be. Deployment. So deployment preference, would you prefer an on-prem deployment or cloud-based deployment? How many technicians, how many users will require access? Do you need multiple sites or remote support capability? So once you ask this question, if the answer is yes, so you should know that for the cloud-based, you send the requirements. I think BDM made mention of this. There are some requirements that is needed if you want to deploy the solution on-prem. And if you're deploying in the cloud, meaning that it's going to be hosted in the OEM premises. So the requirement is not as robust compared to when you are deploying on-prem. You need to let the client understand this. And then number of technicians that will have access to the solution. Once you can confirm this, and also know at the back of your mind that the minimum technicians for professional and enterprise edition is 2, with 250 nodes as the minimum, right? For standard edition, the minimum technician is 10 technicians. So because the standard does not have asset management, so that's why it's just technicians. So you should know that, right? You should know if it is in cloud or on-prem. You should know what edition that the client wants. When the client starts speaking to asset management and the rest, you should know that it's either the professional edition or the enterprise edition that the client will need. Budget, timeline, decision process. So after all the discussion, it's important you ascertain if this solution is actually budgeted for. What quarter? Your Q1, Q2, Q3, as the case may be, you need to ask. So I notice each time we have conversation relating to this with a partner, the partner tends not to ask this kind of question. It's very important for you to ask so that you know how to follow through in the sales process. It's important you ask if it is in their budget. And I know it's not all the client that will tell you what their budget is, but at least they can actually disclose to you when they intend to purchase the solution, right? It's very important to ask this kind of question. And the timeline. The timeline also gives you time for you to be able to evaluate, deploy, and even offer POC, right? So if the client wants to get an outright purchase, so you know that they don't need to start looking out for POC, right? And who are the key stakeholders involved in this decision process, making process, so that you will not waste your time. It's important for you to know that you are speaking to the right person, right? I've engaged a client through a partner for many times, and we observed that the partner is talking to the wrong person. And all of a sudden, a new partner comes in, you get the deal closed within short period. Why? Because the partner is talking to the right person. He's talking to the decision maker. So it's important that whoever you're going to speak with in the client environment are the decision makers. So don't just go and preach management to anybody, right? Speak to the decision maker and ensure that you get the project, the timeline and budget if they have budget for such kind of solution. So thank you. So we'll be happy to take questions. If you have any questions relating to what have been discussed, feel free to ask, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. Thank you. So you can raise your hands. So just to confirm if you have any question, we'll ask the admin to unmute you, then we'll allow you to speak. Bidemi, do you have any addition to what I've been said so far?
So far you've touched down basically on most of the frequently asked questions already, and now to tackle them or anything.
Okay. Let your question come in. We want you to ask questions. It's also a feedback. We also want you to comment to what has been said. Your question is very important, please.
Kindly share your questions in the chat box or raise your hand in the call.
You can also drop your question on the chat board. Just to let you know, we're going to send the slide. Okay, so we have Chidoke here. Chidoke want to ask question. Admin, would you please? Chidoke, you have the floor. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon, Chidoke. Thank you for joining.
All right. Thank you, Trinity IT, for this this session so far. It has been very insightful. So I want to ask, because one of a potential lead asked if it's possible to integrate with a call center solution if they want to use the avenue of raising tickets via calls, or via also to have the option, via calls and also via mails and other avenues. I just want to ask if it's possible.
Okay, is that all?
Yes, for now.
Okay, Bidemi, can you speak to this?
Yes, for emails it's available. Then for call centers, we have the integration with Avaya. So we have some and yes, Avaya is one of the most popular one we are integrating with currently, and seamless.
Okay,
Hello?
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you very much.
Any other question? Thank you, Chidoke, for your question. Please feel free to ask question. We have an expert in-house. We will treat all your questions. What another thing I think I should just add is that if you have any client, right, that you've sold any other solution to, is just for you to go back to them and sell ManageEngine solution. There's no client that you sell ManageEngine to Service Desk Plus that would not need it. The only reason why they will not need it is either they have such kind of solution in-house or they don't have budget for it. But if they do have budget for it, sincerely they are going to get it because it makes the IT process of the company seamless, right? And it makes life easier for the technicians. So we can strategize. You can reach out to us, right? You can have a demonstration to your existing client. When I mean your existing client that you've sold to, it's very much easy for you to approach client that you've sold to, given what they will give you the audience. So if you can get that kind of audience, please reach out to us. We can have such kind of conversation with you and your client. We will demonstrate the ManageEngine solution. And also, if the client shows interest, we can have a POC. We can have 3 POC for at least 1 month. We run a POC, they evaluate the solution in-house, and we're good to go. So that's what I advise the partner. You don't wait for opportunity to come and meet you. You go in and look out for the opportunity. And for the fact that you've sold to a client, gives you leverage and access to the client as when you have not sold to the client before. So you start working from the client that you have in-house, right? With those ones that we've sold to, reach out to them, request for a demo presentation. We'll do that, we'll deliver the presentation to the customer, right? And funny enough, if you start engaging all your clients, before you engage all your clients, you find out that you can even deliver the presentation yourself without any assistance because you've been in the presentation over time, so you'll be able to demonstrate such presentation anytime. So just take advantage of this. It makes your job easier than starting all over, reaching out to clients that you've not engaged. I also want you to understand that whenever you see an RFQ on any solution, let's just be sincere with ourselves. Whenever you see or you got an RFQ, or maybe you saw a vendor or a client sent you an RFQ, just know that somebody somewhere has done the dirty job. Somebody somewhere have done the scoping, right? So if you think that you can get the deal, then you need to put more effort for you to get such kind of deal because someone did the dirty job. Someone has done the scoping. The only reason why you got such requests was because the procurement process needs to be followed. So they need other vendors to compete or to file in their quote. That's the reason why you got that. So it's important for you to go and work on your own opportunity, get it closed, and go ahead. You don't wait for RFQ. RFQ will not work. Will not give you the best deal that you want. If you even close an RFQ deal, from a sales experience, you might even run at loss because you tend to give out all your discount just to match the price of the current vendor. So you can see that you're selling and you're not making profit. So that's another thing. So I just feel like, okay, we don't have any questions. We're going to send the recording of this session to everyone that attend. We're going to send the recording and also some other documents that is needed for you to pitch the solution. And I also want to let you know that we have a scoping sheet. The questionnaire is a scoping sheet that we send to our customer to ascertain what modules they want, what kind of licensing module they want, we just give the customers some leverage to answer some questions. With that, it's going to help you to scope what the client really wants. We have that available. We have data sheet on each of the ManageEngine solution. We have links that will direct you to where you can understand the solution better. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime you need this document. Just reach out to me. We'll be happy and glad to state your request. If you don't have my number, I will just call it now, 07035 220423. That's my number. You can reach out to me on channel@atlantait.com. Channel@atlantait.com. The channel does not have a X, just channel, no X at the front of the L, @atlantait.com. Reach out to me, or you send a mail to henry.agbonze@atlantait.com. henry.agbonze@atlantait.com. atlanta-it.com. All right, so thank you for joining this section. We are pleased to let you know that we are also going to have another session tomorrow, and then this session speaks to one of our flagship solution, which is the network monitoring solution, OpManager Plus. You want to know how to deliver a presentation. You want to know how to pitch the OpManager Plus to your client. You don't have to miss tomorrow's session, right? OpManager Plus is one of our key solutions, and we call it IT Operation Management Solution. So feel free, if you need to ask any question that relates to it before the session tomorrow, I'll be happy to answer you. Please join us tomorrow for another session. Thank you once more for joining this session. I want to take this opportunity to thank the team, the communication team, and the likes of Tife, Femi, Namdi, Adiola, Nena, and Taiwo. Thank you for making this a good success. Abidemi, thank you for making this happen. I want to thank every of the partners that are here. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye for now.